The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. So there Khushwant Singh is giving us an account of the time he spent with his grandmother, or the kind of impression he had got from his grandmother, the kinds of values or the ethics he had learned from her. So basically, Khushwant Singh is giving. Boys, baby. Divyanshi, send me the name of the child who was doing this thing. Okay. So terribly old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of a rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of white, pure white serenity, breathing free peace and contentment. Simran is there in your class, children? Is Simran there in your class? Okay, okay. Yes, she was. And children, tell all your friends that if somebody would be joining in with fake ID, that children child will be reported, and the Zoom admin block will see to it like who that blocked candidate is or the removed candidate is. And from that, with that phone or with that phone number, the child will not be, eligible to join in any Zoom ID. So, this, Khushwant Singh talks about her grandmother, that she is symbolic of purity, peace, and contentment. Okay, so she is symbolic of purity, peace, and contentment. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in the monotonous sing song while she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. So, grandmother and Khushwant Singh, both of them were very good friends. See the relationship between grandson and grandmother. It was a relationship of friendship, of sharing, of caring. So, parents of Khushwant Singh left him with her when they went to the city, uh, so that they could settle up over there. So at that time when he was with his grandmother, then he was al- he was always with her. So we were constantly together. Otherwise, grandchildren don't get a chance or an opportunity to be with grandparents for the whole of the time. Okay, even in a joint family, the children, they do so many things with their parents. Okay, mother takes care of, mother gives food, mother gives bath to child, mother, teaches, mother takes a child to school or drops her to school, this that. It is very rare that the grandmothers, that the children are able to have so much of time to spend with their grandparents. But here Khushwant Singh had that much of time. So she used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. So grandmother used to be with Khushwant Singh right from the morning. In the very morning, she will be with him. She will wake him up, then she would get ready him for the school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing song. What is monotonous? It's a dull. Sing song is a boring way of singing. It's not very melodious way. In a monotonous manner, you know, she would do her prayers in monotonous manner while she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. Grandmother used to speak her prayers loud in a very boring manner, and that she would do so that grandson would listen to her prayers and would learn them by heart. I listened because I loved her voice, but never bothered to learn it. So Khushwant Singh, what he says, that he always loved her voice and he would always listen to whatever she would speak, but he never bothered to learn those prayers by heart. So children, like when grandmother would wake him up early in the morning, and when she would recite her prayers aloud, what was she doing actually? Was she making her grandson become religious, or was she making him, listen to something which is monotonous and sing song? No. The answer is that grandmother was making her grandson get the habit of getting up early in the morning. Then she was giving her the value of praying to God. She was making him spiritual. Spirituality, children, enlightens us. Spirituality uplifts us. Spirituality makes us conscious of the purity or the serenity around us, or make us value that also. So the children, those who are able to value valuable things, that is because they have been taught to value them. Values are valuable. And what are values? Something, the values are those values, are those teachings which enlighten your mind, which uplift your soul, which make you think good about others, which make you a good human being. Okay. So grandmother gave him values right from the childhood. The very first value she gave him about getting up early in the morning. Then she gave him the value of being close to God, okay, of being spiritual. Though the narrator Khushwant Singh says he never learned them, he never bothered to learn. But doesn't mean that if you don't know the prayers by heart, you are not spiritual. No, just merely remembering God, that means that you are spiritual. So when some elderly person is reciting prayers, then if you just maintain silence and maintain discipline, because somebody your grandparents or your parents are doing prayer, it means that you have a value. The moment you reach a temple or a gurudwara or a church or a mosque, and if you cover your head and if you fold your hands, it means that you have the values, right? So he says that I listened because I loved her voice. So what does it mean? The grandson Khushwant Singh did not disrespect her mother, that she was an old woman and she was making so much of noise in the morning. Rather, he says that he loved her voice. He loved her grandmother's voice. It's not that grandmother used to sing in a very melodious manner like Lata Mangeshkar. But the thing is, Khushwant Singh, for a grandson, grandmother was an epitome of love and affection and care. And he also loved her. So then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen, tie them all in a bundle, and hand it to me. So after Khushwant Singh would be ready, then she would bring a wooden slate. It was the wooden slate which she had washed in the previous evening. Children, I hope you know what the wooden slates are. Nowadays, when a child goes to school, even in the KG wing, to do their school work, they have notebooks, right? You people have notebooks in the school to do school work. And before that, in our times, when we people used to go to school in KG wing, in our pre-primary classes, we used to be given the slates, which you people can call as the white boards or the blackboards. Okay, those kinds of slates we used to have with chalks. We used to do the things on that, and those very slates could be easily rubbed off. Okay, we would have a duster, and we would clean it very easily. It would be cleaned. But before that, during the times of our parents or grandparents, your in your case it would be your grandparents. Your parents might have seen slates, but your grandparents might be using the wooden slates. So what was it about the wooden plates? Wooden slates, they used to be made up of wood, and children used to write on them with a reed and ink. And it was not possible to clean those wooden slates there and then. In order to clean the wooden slates, some yellow kind of, which you call as multani mitti kinds. So yellow kind of, some material was there with which it used to be cleaned, and it would take about 2 or 3 hours to dry that wooden slate, right? So when the children would come home, when Khushwant Singh would come home in the afternoon, then grandmother would wash his wooden slate in the evening, right? So in the morning, when Khushwant Singh would go to school, she would just give him his wooden slate ready with ink pen, with ink pot and red pen, yellow chalk, ink, red pen, and an earthen ink pot. So what's the point of giving him these things? Like when grandmother would give him these things in the morning, does it give any value to the grandson? Is she imparting any value to the grandson, children? Come on, raise hand. If you, when she was giving the wooden slate ready, yellow chalk, earthen ink pot, and a red pen, she would give all the things to her, tie them up in a bundle, and she would give it to him, and then he would go to school. Is there some value which you say like, yes ma'am, she was giving this value to her grandson? Okay, Pragati says that she wanted to inculcate some good values in him and be able to connect to the supreme power. Yeah, so when it was about the prayer, then it was like that he should be connected to the supreme power. So Pragati also says about managing ourselves efficiently. Yes, that is correct. So anyone else, you can raise hand. Yes, Kavya, speak up. Unmute yourself. Okay, I'm not unmuted. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
her grandmother was telling him that how he could manage his things himself so that he would not be depend upon any other or any other person.
Yes, you're right. So Yashika says it teaches him to arrange things in proper manner. Yes, Samriddhi says time management. Exactly, I wanted to listen to this point, time management. So, grandmother was teaching her grandson the values of managing time, working efficiently, and to be organized. Okay, so we have seen children, we see children even in 11th and 12th also. You people are in 11th. We see even very grown up children about 18 and 17 years of age. They come to school, and in the very first period they say, ma'am, we don't have pen, can I have the pen from my friend? Okay, they say, ma'am, sorry ma'am, I don't have any notebook, can I take a paper from him? So what is this? It means that somewhere these children were not taught the value to be organized. So when a child doesn't have a pen in the very morning in the class, it means that the child never bothered to put pen in the bag. Or sometimes children say, ma'am, we don't have book, can I share the book with my friend? So the same thing, the children are not well organized, they don't manage their own things. They just come to school, they just wake up and come to school. So grandmother was such an old woman. Okay, she had a hunched back. She was such an old woman. She was not only managing herself, she was managing her grandson also. Even then, she had time to wash her grandson's wooden slate in the evening. Wooden slate would be dried up and it would be kept. Then the yellow chalk she would keep aside. It's not that she would give him the full box one day and the other day she would tell him like, beta, aaj to yellow chalk nahi hai. Today you get it from your friend. Okay, it's not that she would say, beta, today there is no ink or today there is no red pen. So daily she would hand him the things which he might require in the school. So the value she was giving was to be organized, to have time management, and to be efficient. Okay. So when the grandmother was doing this thing for the grandson when he was so small, then grandson, when he would become a little grown up, of course he will do it on his own, because he will have the habit to go to school with all things ready in his hand. So the grandmother, apart from making him spiritually uplifted, or apart from making him uh, well organized or efficient, she was making him she was making him learn the value of time also. Okay. So I then, after a breakfast of thick stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. So what kind of breakfast Khushwant Singh will have? It was a breakfast of stale chapati. Nowadays children, it's not that that is wrong, I don't say. So now children, they are given uh, very sumptuous breakfasts in the morning. Okay. So aloo ka paranthas and all, everything goes in Punjabi's families. I don't think you say that is wrong, that is okay. But grandmother being very old, okay, so even in our in Indian culture we say like, number one, we should not waste food. So stale chapatis were there, so grandmother would not waste them, and she would put some butter on them and spread some little sugar on it, and she would give it to grandson for breakfast. So he would have the breakfast of stale chapati with butter on it, and then afterwards she carried several stale chapatis with her for village dogs. Then she would carry the same stale chapatis for the village dogs. So what value now? Number one, the value of giving value to food, not to waste food. Then another value of sharing. Like if you have filled your stomach with food, then there is time. Then we must have something for the animals also. Okay, the animals are dependent upon human beings for their needs, for their food. So something for them also is required. So then she would carry the stale chapatis for dogs as well, village dogs. So the value of sharing, the value of caring, the value of giving value to food, not to waste food, value of spirituality, the value of time management. So many values in just one paragraph. We have seen that she was imparting to grandson, because we have to discuss in the end, like, why does grandfather Khushwant Singh say that it is a portrait of a lady? Okay, he doesn't say it's a portrait of his grandmother. He says it's a portrait of a lady. So my grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. So it's not that the grandmother told her grandson like, beta, now you go and I'll come after you, because right now I'm very busy, let me have my own tea and all, you go, then I will come. She would not say the same thing. She would accompany Khushwant Singh to school. She would not leave the duty of dropping her grandson to school on anyone. In the village, people are all well connected. Okay, so she herself took the responsibility of taking grandson to school, and then when grandson would go to school, she would go to the temple which was attached to it. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer. So what did Khushwant Singh learn in the school? Morning prayer and alphabet. So alphabets, maybe Ka, Kha, Ga. Okay. So maybe it was the Uda Ada, or maybe it was the Ka, Kha, Ga. So he learned the alphabet and morning prayer in the school. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. because the school and the temple, they were adjacent to each other. So in the school, the children would be sitting in rows, and they would be reciting the alphabet or the morning prayer all together in a chorus. So grandmother on the other side in the temple, she would sit in the temple and would read scriptures. What are scriptures? Holy books. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. So on one side, grandson would finish his work in the school, and meanwhile, grandmother would also finish her reading of scriptures and other things in the temple. So then both of them would come back to home together. This time, the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. This time, the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. So while going back, it was a time for grandmother to share, grandmother and grandson both, to give chapatis to the dogs. So all village dogs, they would be with this grandmother and grandson, and they would be fighting for their own turn for the chapatis. So the point is, like, grandmother was really a very compassionate, was really a very affectionate, was really a great humanitarian, was a person with humanitarian approach, right? She served the dogs also. So when my parents, chat time is over, children.